Hey everyone, welcome back to today's video where I will be showcasing you guys the best defensive formations and roles on the EFC 26. As I said, I will be walking you through the formation, what type of players would work, because this is a formation in general that you want to play maybe from the 75th, 70th minute if you're leading maybe by 1 or 2 goals, because it's a very good formation in terms of holding the ball, but also in defense it's very compact and very hard to break down. And yes, I guess you're struggling with counterattacks as well, and this formation is absolutely insane for stopping these counterattacks and for the opponent to get in behind your defense. Let's jump into today's video. So starting off from the back, we have one of my favorite goalkeepers in this year's game is going to be Pope. Nick Pope, his new SBC card. I actually put the cornerstone on him, so he gets 1 extra chemistry, super important. He played 63 games for me, I think he's very good. In terms of playstyles, he has everything except the 1v1 close down and the deflector. Deflector I don't even think is that important, but the 1v1 close down is definitely very good. Overall though, just personal preference with keeper. I think Mamardashvili might be better, so I might switch to Mamad, but for keepers, it's just personal opinion. So going into the fullbacks then, starting off with the defense, we will be going to our right-hand side first, and we will be pulling out Marcos Llorente. In 4-1-4-1, in general in this game, you want quick fullbacks because you want to be able to stop these counterattacks. And on the other hand side, I actually have my Evo Theo Hernandez. And how did I get intercept on him? I basically got intercept from the season pass, then he got put into, I think, Protect the Wing Evo, I believe. So he's really good. He has a gold intercept, which I think is the best defensive playstyle on the game. Also manages to have rapid and quick step, bruiser as well, and also deadbolt. So overall very quick player, but also if he gets to shoulder duels with the wingers and against opponents that are playing for a lot of counters, he wins the ball because of bruiser. So I think he's the best left back in the game and a fantastic fullback to play in this 4-1-4-1 formation. Right back then we have Marcos Llorente, as I said. Doesn't really have the best card. It's a very outdated card, I would say, but there are not in general a lot of other right back options in this year's game, and I think he's really good in defense, especially because you're adding quick step and rapid together just like Theo Hernandez has, and also his body is kind of, I would say he has that kind of thick body in game, which means that he's winning a lot of duels. I usually just spam X with him when I'm close to the opponent's wingers, and he most of the times manages to get the ball. Anyway then, 500 games with him just says a lot on how many games I played with him, but also how much I actually enjoy to play with him as well. Center backs then, going to be with a cheap pairing. You might ask yourself, Olle, where have you put all your coins? Yes, I'm investing at the moment. That's why I think a lot of top tier players will be dropping during Black Friday now, so that's why I sold them. That's why I decided to go with Pacho and Marquinhos at the moment. I think this is the best gold pair partnership on the game, and it's also been for the past month. Marquinhos, best gold center back in the game. I think he's very good with jockey, intercept, anticipate, and aerial fortress. Important again though in the 4-1-4-1 is first of all that the fullbacks are quick, center backs that manage to have some good defending playstyles, and also if you manage to miss a tackle, they should have decent pace, so you can actually track back and not really open up holes in your defense, especially if you want to hold out the game, which I will showcase you now with the 4-1-4-1. Pacho on the other hand then, some decent playstyles, unfortunately no intercept, but gold bruiser is basically very solid. I just spam X when the through balls are happening, and I mostly win the ball with Pacho. So this is going to be the defense, very good for any formation, and yeah. That's basically why I decided to go for this defense then. Starting off from the left mid, no, I won't be playing with Mbappe anymore, chat. I won't. I will be playing with Rafinha, and that's because he's quite cheap, but also important. I think for the wingers in this year's game, they need to be very quick in behind, especially if you play this formation. If you play other formations like a 4-4-2, for example, I don't even think it's that necessary for the wingers to be super quick. But if you play with a one striker formation like a 4-5-1, 4-1-4-1, 4-2-1-3, I think it's quite important that your wingers are very quick in behind. And why, you may ask? Because we want to play for the through balls in this formation. This formation is kind of the same as the 4-5-1, but that CDM will definitely help you a lot more in defense and keeping that middle a lot more compact. So that's why I decided to go for Nico Williams and Rafinha on the wings. Super quick, both of them. Also good shooting playstyles with finesse and power shot for Rafinha, and for Nico Williams we have game changer and finesse shot, which I think is very solid. Also rapid plus and quick step on Nico, and the same thing goes for Rafinha. So very quick in behind both of these, and we'll be able to play for these through balls. If we jump into the CDM then, first of all is going to be an Evo that you guys might know about if you're watching me on Twitch. If you're not following me on Twitch, by the way, go over to Twitch. type Ollelito, it will be under here somewhere, and give me a follow on Twitch, because I'm live every single day minimum. It's going to be Damian, and it's quite important for a CDM in my opinion, especially in this formation, that he manages to have ping pass, because ping pass will be able to play these R1 passes through and break the opponent's midfield when they are trying to put pressure on you. So he has tiki-taka, which is perfect. Tiki-taka is needed in this formation for the players, because you want to be able to play yourself out of the pressure that's being applied on you late in the game, so you can play out of it and then try to score or try to keep the ball easier. And that's definitely going to help with tiki-taka, especially when the first time passes are better, but also ping passes that will be able to break the opponent's midfield, and then for you to be able to have more space in the middle to try to go to the wingers. In general then, Bonmati is going to be the first CM in this squad. I want to have someone that is actually going to be a bit more attacking, and on the other hand, I either could go De Jong, Reinders, whatever, but I decided to go for Frankie De Jong. I think he's very, very good, but more importantly, if we look at the playstyle once again, he manages to have incisive for the through ball and tiki-taka gold, obviously. And then for Bonmati, we also have incisive, pinged, which is really, really good to break the lines of the opponent's midfield when they're trying to put pressure, but more importantly, tiki-taka. And with tiki-taka, you can be able to perform these first-time passes in around the opponent's box a lot of times to score, but also more importantly, if they're putting pressure on you very high up the pitch, you can play yourself out of press with the first-time passes. Then for the striker then, obviously it's going to be the best striker in this year's game. It's going to be Claudia Pina. No, it's not R9, it's Claudia Pina. And I mean, I don't really need to explain with Claudia Pina a lot. For striker, I don't think it's super important for the 4-1-4-1, but I would advise you guys to get someone that actually has tiki-taka and incisive, or maybe one of the two, because you will still be able to, as I said, this is more of like a play out formation when you're feeling like the opponent is just overwhelming you. And if you feel like you're playing against someone better, this could also be a very, very good option for this formation, even though it's not the greatest in attack, but very, very solid in defense. Jumping into the tactics and roles then, first of all, starting off with build-up style, we have the 4-1-4-1 formation, we have build-up style balanced. We have defensive approach high, which I think is quite basic, to be honest. If you want to copy the code, it's up here, by the way, and let me know down in the comments if you like the formation to as a play out formation. Pope will be on whatever he's plus with. He will be on sweeper keeper for me then, as he has said in plus. Llorente will be on full back defend. Marquinhos and Pacho. Also depends a bit on roles and stuff, but I still think defender is by far the best role. So I'm going to put Pacho and Marquinhos on defender. And then Tionanes has full back plus, but he will also be on full back defend, because in general, as I said, this is a formation we want to use when the opponent is applying pressure by the late parts of the game. So jumping into the wingers then, this is going to be a bit of a different one. I'm going to go winger for Rafinha. I think it's a very, very good role actually this year. The only thing that the winger is basically not as good with is basically around the box. So a lot of times if I go on the right hand side, then I'll try to recycle it into my CMs and then try to maybe find my other winger to come across. When the ball is coming outside of the box, he's most often at the wing, and we want him on the inside of the pitch, right? So this is a bit more of, as I said, play out formation. I think Rafinha could be perfect as a winger. De Jong will first of all be on deep line playmaker defend. Just basically because we need that kind of extra CDM that we want to defend with. Let's see if I can go up to Damian. Damian will be on the most defensive role in this year's game. It's going to be holding and defend. Super, super simple. Bonmati will actually be on deep line playmaker, but build up, as this is kind of a defensive role, but we still want her to be able to like go forward and, you know, try to score that winning goal if we get the chance. And Nico Williams will be on inside forward. And why is this? Because if I am in a game, maybe it's 10 minutes left and I have that opportunity to go forward, then obviously I want to take it. I want to be able to score the dagger, 2-goal lead, then you can relax a bit, not play for the time the whole game. This is more important. Rafinha will be on winger. When we go to the left mid of or the left wing of Rafinha, we can actually recycle it and go to the other side, and Nico Williams will be there inside the box. And if I have an open pass to him because my opponent is trying to pressure me or whatever, I can take a touch forward and try to shoot. So I still think you need to find a balance between trying to play time but also knowing when you can actually go forward. Striker will be advanced forward and attack for Pina. Quite simple. You can also, if you're struggling a lot in build-up in this year's game, you can go force 9 build-up. I think personally that's a bit too defensive. You can do if you're leading by 2 goals by the end of the game, so it depends on you, but I think advanced forward in general is quite good, as I try to do play locks with my Claudia Pina anyway, to try to get into good spots, to try to play these wingers through, and then keep the ball on the opponent's half is the most important thing when you're trying to play out time in this year's game, because if you keep the ball on the opponent's half, it's very, very hard to pressure on their own half. If you're playing the ball in around your own box, yes, then it's obviously easier. So this is going to be the tactics, this is going to be the roles, and the tactics, as I said, copy the code and let me know what you think about it. And that wraps up the best defensive formation and tactics right now on FC26. If this helped you tighten up at the back and control in general more games that are being very, very hard, leave a like and comment what you think about the formation and the roles. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're not missing the next video that's coming tomorrow for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love you boys. See you in the next one.